Glory Days show. After dropping the first two games of the World Series to the Kansas City Royals, the Mets came roaring back in Game 3 to get themselves back into it. We'll talk about what happened and what we can expect for the rest of the weekend.
And although baseball is all we've been talking about lately, what do you say we get Pete Torgerson on the Glory Days hotline and talk about hockey?
I think you want to talk about the Mets too, man. You know?
I think we've converted Pete Torgerson.
And in our Did You Hear About segment, we have a verdict in the case of a sleeping Yankee fan who is suing ESPN for making fun of him. Our favorite paraplegic murderer is getting out of jail. And our good pal, Lenny Dykstra, is in the news again. Wait till you hear this one.
And the best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days.
EatRadio.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Halloween, Saturday, October 31st, 2015, and you are watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Descafani. This is my good friend, Bruce Oler. Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today, and you are watching us. You are joining us on the Radio TV network, where we broadcast live from Studio C in the great state of New York, where the World Series just started. You know, they say that the World Series doesn't really start until the home team loses a game.
Yeah, now who said that?
I don't know.
Yeah, you said they, so
Well,
it must be
they.
more than one person. Okay.
But
I have heard that, though. I'm not sure I understand that. But
well, you know what the thing is, if you win, if everybody just wins their home games,
well, then the Mets lose.
Then the Mets lose. So I don't know. It's kind of a stupid saying.
I don't like that saying. I really don't. You know.
They don't say that. But you know what? Mets needed this game.
They did. I mean, they also said it wasn't a must-win game because, you know, technically you only must win when you you lose and you go home.
You know,
but it was just about as close to a must-win game as you can have. You can't go down 3-0 because the prognosis is negative for that.
Well, you know, being down 3-0 is not a mathematically you're not eliminated, but mentally you're done. Everybody knows that. And the Mets last night, they did exactly what they needed to do last night.
It was quite an exciting game, man. Many highlights.
I have to tell you, though, I think that the beginning...
You mean when Billy Joel came out and sang the national anthem?
Billy Joel came out. I thought he was going to be doing it with the piano, but he didn't.
Yeah?
He came out and he did it a cappella.
I see.
Last night.
Was it good?
Oh, yeah, he was great. He's
Billy Joel.
He's a professional singer.
Yes.
He's got a pretty good voice.
Yeah, yeah.
And Mike Piazza threw out the first ball.
Right.
So
Very cool
the crowd was very charged, and basically what happened in Game 2 was that we just couldn't put them away in Game 2.
Game 2?
Yeah, in Game 2. We could not. There was a statistic that said that the Mets threw 34 pitches with 2 strikes and only got 1 swing and a miss.
Yeah.
The other 2 times
they were an impressive team, man. You know, if you had to diagram the team that you wanted to play, it would not be these guys.
No.
It was the Cubs.
Right.
I mean, the Cubs, these free swingers, they a lot of strikeouts.
And listen, all year the Mets pitchers have been the types of guys where when they needed a strikeout, they were able to get it.
Yeah.
These
guys, they foul the ball off is what they do. They're an excellent team. They really are.
31 out of 34 times with 2 strikes, they hit the ball.
Yeah.
31 and 3.
I know. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's mind-boggling.
So what we really wanted was to strike somebody out. That's all we really wanted.
Yeah.
And the first pitch to the first guy.
Yeah.
goes over his
Shin
head.
music.
It reminded me of Bull Durham. And he says to him, hit the bull.
You know, I'm sure, in retrospect, because, after you see that first pitch, it's like, what is this guy going to throw next? I mean, is what you're going to be thinking,
And that is exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You want to get them off their game. Well, look at what happened. Look at what happened in Game 2.
Yeah.
Okay? Cueto has that herky-jerky motion. He's got this, he's got that. It throws you off your game.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. You cannot feel comfortable at the plate.
Well, that's right. That's right.
And
That's
boy,
right.
Syndergaard did exactly what he needed
We
to do.
were talking off camera here that you had written the intro saying the Mets came roaring back before you even knew that they would have done that,
Well, it was prophetic.
Prophetic is correct. Yeah.
But realistically,
And speaking about prophetic, Noah Syndergaard did say he had a plan for our friend. I don't remember this guy's name. Is that Escobar?
Yeah.
Escobar. Yeah.
Well,
he had a little plan for Escobar.
Escobar
He had something up his sleeve.
Escobar jumped all over Matt Harvey's first pitch of the World Series.
Yeah.
A fastball, unfortunately, right down the middle.
That became an in the park home run because of some miscommunication out in the
Right.
outfield between.
And that really,
Cespedes.
that really set the tone for the type of team that they were going to be. And Escobar has gone on record saying, I hit the first pitch all the time. Throw me a fastball. I want to see a fastball.
What will Steven Matz do to him tonight? What do you think?
I say hit him in the head.
Again?
I would have rode right at his head, right over his head again. Because did you see that bench, that Kansas City bench?
Oh, yeah, well, with Moustakas.
Yeah.
I mean, I was out watching the game, so they didn't have, and it was a band that was playing, so you couldn't really hear what was being said. Because, I was reading his lips, and I thought he used the B word there. He called somebody a bitch, And there was something else he said that seemed like it was pretty bad, too,
Well, let me tell you something that Bobby Ojeda said. Okay, Bobby Ojeda was talking in yesterday's Daily News. And he said that he just didn't like the approach.
Right. That same article was in the Post, I guess. I read that.
Both
we talked
Harvey
about you got to go
and,
to your strength. Don't show them every pitch.
Exactly.
The first at bat. Because these guys, they watch.
Right, he says you have to throw the scouting report out the window. He says, yes, just if you're a fastball pitcher and that's a fastball hitting team, why would you throw them curveballs?
Yeah.
That you're a fastball pitcher. He says he was talking about his experience in 1986.
Yeah.
Okay, he pitched Game 3 in 1986, which obviously
and the Mets
was a
went
must-win.
down 2-0 to nothing.
Obviously
so
was a
he
must-win.
knew something about this.
And he knew that he knows he's not he is a fastball pitcher, but his fastball was 90, 91. He said, but he needed to establish right off the bat. Plus, the Boston Red Sox knew him because he had played with them. And he knew right off the bat he had to establish that inside part of the plate. I own that inside part of the plate, and he did that hard inside the entire game.
Yeah.
And his advice to Noah Syndergaard was, you're a fastball pitcher. Use what got you there. Go to your strength, and then you go to Plan B.
Dance with the girl you came to dance with.
That's exactly it. And then you go to Plan B, because he said the first time through the lineup, you don't want them to see everything that you have the first time through the lineup.
Right. And I'll tell you what, that makes sense to me. So you know what doesn't make sense to me? That Terry Collins brings in Familia at the end of the game to let these guys see him. Well, the game is out of reach.
Well, here's what I thought about that. I didn't think he was going to bring him in at all. I mean, it was
why? Why would you do that?
It was 9-3.
Yeah,
I think. I was sitting there. My son James said they're not bringing in Familia because they want to save him for Game 4 and Game 5.
That's right.
But
it's not so much from a workload perspective. I really think, this team, they watch what's going on. Why let these guys see you pitch another time if you don't need to?
But think about this for a second. Familia knows at this point that he failed.
Yeah.
With a 1-run lead.
Yeah.
He failed them. How great was that last night? He came in and he got them 1-2-3.
Yeah, well,
last night. So that's a little bit of a. As long as it's not going to physically
it's
hurt
a
them.
mind game.
It's
a mind game.
At this point, that's what it is. It's all mind games. Look at what Syndergaard did right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It's a mind game.
I'll tell you, though, there were a couple of things that stuck out in my mind. Some sloppy baseball.
Oof.
In the first inning, they got Syndergaard and Duda both covering first base, and they dropped the ball on a double play, and that scored that run.
Right.
So I'm sitting there going, here we go. You know, the Mets are not looking too good here.
No, this is what we were talking about before, about Kansas City being that type of a team
They
that
were an
takes
opportunistic
advantage.
team.
Right, they take advantage of your mistakes.
Exactly right. Well, although they did make a mistake, I don't remember the pitcher's name, but he looks Lagares back to third, that comebacker.
Right.
And then he didn't know what to do. He was just like looking all over the place, and then he throws wide to second.
He threw it to the second baseman, who was on the shift out in the outfield.
That was sloppy. And that, you know, think about it, the Mets did the damage in that inning too. That's when they put that game away.
Well, that whole inning was the game. It's 5-3 Mets. It's going into the top of the sixth. Syndergaard had 10 in a row going into top of the sixth. He got the first 2 outs. Now he's got 12 in a row. Then guy hits the ball up the middle. Murphy dives to make the play and just stops the ball. He had no chance.
I think he had a problem transferring the ball.
On a 3-2 pitch, he walks a guy.
Yeah.
He goes 3-2 again.
Walks
another guy. Now he got bases loaded. Now I understand Perez was the eighth hitter.
Yeah, and it's the game is 5-3.
Still 5-3 at that time. You know what? And this is exactly what happened the other night. This is exactly what happened in Game 2. A 2-out opportunity with runners in scoring position, and he did not. If you remember, I guess it was Wednesday night. He didn't walk Eric Hosner with first base open, and Hosner got the base hit that put them ahead 3-1, and the Mets never recovered from that. This was kind of the same thing here. Now he had bases loaded. Syndergaard was running out of gas.
Yeah.
He was running out of gas. This was absolutely going to be his last batter anyway, because he was coming up in the next inning, and he got the ground ball.
Yeah.
Collins showed faith in him.
Yeah.
And
that was big. There's no doubt that was a big play.
So he got the ground ball, and then bottom of the sixth, that's when the Mets broke it open with 4 runs.
And the Kansas City, they had a brain lock with that ball, you know.
And actually, the Mets had a chance to blow the game open the inning before, because they had second, third, no outs.
Yeah.
And they got the 1 run in and couldn't get. They were ahead 4-3.
Right.
They got 1 run in. Yeah. Then they had first and third, no outs, and never didn't get anything more. And you know, you're looking at the game. I have to tell you though, a lot of people in the stands were. It was a different atmosphere. Right, first inning was fine. Wright hits the home run in the bottom, then he gets them right into it. And then in the second inning, when they got the 2 runs, hit, double, single. They got 4 hits in a row. Everybody was just like, you know what? We're in deep trouble here. And then Syndergaard got out of the inning.
I felt the same way, you know, watching at home.
And then the Mets went down meekly in the bottom of the second. And I said to my son James and my nephew Michael, I said, this is where you need to shut down. I said, give me 3 innings of 1, 2, 3. And
he did that.
I was telling them the story of that Game 7 in 1986 when Darling gave up the home run, and the Mets were down 3-0 in the second inning.
Yeah.
I said, in came Fernandez, 4, 5, 6, got 9 outs, and that gave us a chance to get back in the game. Really, I said that's what we needed. We needed a shutdown. We needed a couple of shutdown innings in a row. We needed to show that a 1, 2, 3 inning wasn't the fluke. The fluke was the other inning.
How about the overturned call at third? That was a big play in that game too, right?
It was a big
play.
And
David Wright, he's pointing immediately, you know. And I'll tell you what, again, not having the audio on.
Right. Well, I
every
didn't have
time
the audio
I
either.
saw that replay, I didn't realize he tagged him on the helmet.
Right.
You know.
We didn't know either. And one of the things is they just, for whatever reason, they weren't showing a lot of replays.
Yeah.
In the ballpark, but they did show that replay at least on the big screen. And looking at it, I didn't even think. I just, you know, I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God!" Now it's 2 runs in,
right?
And now it's first and third, no outs, and really it changed the whole game right there. That overturned call. So we'll take that, right?
How about Curtis Granderson running that ball, Ben Zobrist's ball out of right center field?
You know,
that was such a great game. It really was.
You know, you forget how good Curtis Granderson has been in the outfield. You know, when you've got Lagares out there and you've got Cespedes with that arm out there. Granderson's made 2 great plays so far. And remember, he robbed that guy of a home run.
Yeah.
The guy from the Cubs, he robbed him a home run.
Yeah.
And stuff. And also,
he had a home
ran
run
down
last night.
Right.
You know, he's He's on fire.
He is.
The good thing about the Met team is that it's just too bad they all can't be on fire at the same time, because that would be just awesome.
Hopefully we get that from. We get another good game from Steven Matz tonight.
Yeah.
And then I like our chances in Game 5 with Matt Harvey. You got Matt Harvey now on regular rest on Sunday.
Yeah.
He'll be on his regular 4-day rest on Sunday. He was a little shaky, but I tell you right now, if the Mets can tie this series at 2-2, there's no chance Harvey doesn't pitch well on Sunday night. At least that's what I think.
Juan Uribe.
Juan Uribe. You know what? There's still more to talk about.
There is.
And we're just getting started here on the Glory Day Show. Right after break, we'll get to our good buddy Pete Torgerson on the phone. And we'll talk about the World Series. We'll talk about hockey. I'm sure he wants to talk about his undefeated New England Patriots.
If I were him, I'd want to do that too.
All right, stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV Network. I'll be right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Radio TV Network. If you're a fan of this program, you know all about our next guest. He has his hands on just about every major sport championship trophy, and although his Red Sox and Bruins may be in a down cycle, he is never down in himself. Please welcome Mr. Met, Pete Torgerson.
Hey, Pete, how are you?
Gentlemen, that's not the question. How are you guys doing?
I'm flying high, man.
I'm a hurting buckaroo this morning. I'll be honest with you.
I'm tired just watching you guys. I was in New York Tuesday night. I watched the game till 1:20. Wednesday night I watched the game. Thursday night I went to the Patriots, and then I caught last night's game. Holy smoke! I don't know how you guys doing.
You know, it was kind of funny. I was talking to a guy at work, a Yankee fan, And I said, how do you guys do this year after year after year? I says, every October, there's no sleep, there's no anything. You can't concentrate on anything else. You know, everything is live and die.
Yeah.
My wife said to me Friday morning, she says, I was getting ready to go to work. She says, I'll see you on Monday.
That's the way it goes.
Well, that's why they give you guys 20 years between your playoff experiences. So you can
I couldn't do this year
That's
after
right.
year. There's no doubt. Unless maybe we're just so into it this year because it's been so long. You know, I don't know what it is. All I know is it's a great ride. And you know this as a Boston fan. At least Boston makes the playoffs more often than the Mets did. But
Right.
you went through this with the Bruins. And, you know, it's you can't not get caught up in it, and it means everything to you. Like, my wife can't understand. If you're not a sports fan, you just can't understand it.
There were so many times last night, like you say, early in the game where they make a stupid play in the first inning, they're down 1-0,
Right.
then they get up 2-1, and they give it right back. You're sitting there going, oh man, you know.
You just can't. Sometimes you just have. It's ridiculous. There's no
rational reason for it.
That's why they call it a fan. You're a fanatic. It's, you know.
It's every pitch. Every pitch is like do or die.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm telling you,
But
you
guess
know,
what?
you know, the tickets are very expensive for the World Series. We might as well just have bought standing room because nobody sits down.
Right.
And you know, what are you going to do? Tell the guy in front of you, hey, could you sit down?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's riveting. It's everything that, you know, watching it at home, being at the game, being at a bar, doesn't matter. It's riveting. You don't want it to end.
You know,
It's good
as I
for
said,
the whole-
I was
it's
out
good
watching
for
the
the whole
game.
city, the economy, everything. It's just the playoffs when it's exciting. It's unbelievable.
Can't beat it.
No.
Yeah.
Better than the politicians' debates, huh? You know.
Hey,
Just
here's
a
my
little bit.
call. Here's my call on your series. Mets are going to win it, and they won it last night on the first pitch of the game.
There you go.
Those boys from Kansas City, they're not as tough now digging in and you know, bring it. The New Yorkers brought it last night, and I think that one pitch changed the whole series.
Yeah.
And I think in a good way for you guys.
You know, we were talking about it, right? You know, obviously everyone in the stands was losing their mind when he threw the pitch. And I just remember standing up and yelling, "Welcome to New York."
You know, but you know, I think what added a little more drama is the fact that Darno didn't catch the ball. It went all the way to the backstop. It's like, whoa.
I think he said after that, "How you doing?"
Good one, Pete.
And you know what? And then, you know, they had a chance if they really wanted to. They had a chance to get back at him when he came up in the second. Was it the second inning or the third inning? He came up in the second
He
inning.
got a hit,
He
and
gets
then
a
he
hit.
scored on Granderson's home run.
It was a nice hit, and then you know, they didn't. There was no retaliation there. And the guy that pitched last night, I just can't think of his name.
What is, you know, he's got this whole Thor thing, you know. So what is the song that they play when he comes up?
Well, I have to tell you, when we saw him pitch in the playoff game, he was using the Game of Thrones, the theme for the Game of Thrones, right? But for yesterday, he was using the theme to the Halloween.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Jason Voorhees. That was what he was using. It was.
I got to tell you, my vote would be for the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. You know?
Oh boy! Oh boy!
So Pete, so you snuck in the game with the Patriots between all this baseball mayhem. Your
How about
Patriots
those
looking very
Patriots?
good these days.
I'm just hoping all those balls are all inflated to the right pressure. You know, Tom Brady. I sat in the end zone the other night. Tom Brady looks like he's sitting on his couch playing a video game. He is so calm back there. I've never seen anything like it. He's in a zone like I've never seen. He's killing people.
Did you hear the report that came out? I think it was yesterday or the day before that said that the Jets asked the NFL to check their locker room in the Patriots stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh yeah.
For what?
What are they going to learn from? What are they going to steal from that team that they don't? You know,
They said they were looking for
unbelievable.
like they asked the NFL to check. They were looking for like, you know, electronic bugs. And
Oh, yeah?
stuff like that.
I thought they were looking for pixie dust. I mean, they're having a magical year, Pete. They really are, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the Jets, I thought, played pretty good against them, and I look forward to that rematch down in Jersey later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you look at the rest of the Patriots' schedule, the only 3 question games they have are at Denver, at the Jets, and at the Giants.
Yeah.
So.
They're looking good. So, Pete, you know, we haven't really talked about hockey at all with you. The hockey season has started. Any surprises so far with what you've seen?
Well, on the opposite ends, the Canadians are unconscious.
Yeah.
And my Columbus Blue Jackets, who I thought were going to be the team to beat this year, they come out of the gate 0-7. They went 15-1-1 the last 17 games of the year last year. Just missed the playoffs. They had a bunch of injuries. They had everybody coming back. Everybody's healthy. And they got some bad goaltending. And next thing you know, they're 0-7. The coach is out, and here comes Tortorella.
Unbelievable.
They lost last night. So they're 1-2 since Tortorella got there. But, geez, what a surprise that was. I thought they were going to make some noise this year. I really like that nucleus of the team they have.
You know, and they looked good even the year before.
Right.
And I think they had injuries and they went out like early in the playoffs, I think. So, you know,
Yep.
they are always like, you know, I think everybody thinks they're ready to go. They're ready to go. But every year they disappoint. I don't know.
Yeah. And then the Islanders, they look so good, but I just don't think they're going to have the stamina this year. They have 80 road games because every game in Brooklyn's a road game.
Yeah.
They have to get to the rink, and I'm sure they're not going back home to Long Island, so they're staying in a hotel during the day. So now your pattern's messed up.
Well, they were saying that they're actually they've all been taking the train.
Yeah.
They've all been taking the train at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
But then what do you do, you know, after you're done skating, man? You know?
I think they, well then, you know, like you said, I think they just hang out.
No,
I don't know.
They have a pregame skate at 11.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then you take your pregame nap. So, you know, they get a hotel for these guys, but it's just the mojo, the rhythm it's gonna get to them.
Yeah.
It's gonna wear out at some point.
Well, look, already the last 2 home games, I think they gave up goals in the third period. And just the other night, they gave up the tying goal with 2.5 minutes left and then lost in
What's the
overtime.
attendance, you know?
The attendance has not been good.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're saying every game's a sellout.
Yeah, every game's a sellout.
A lot of people come dressed in blue seats.
Pete, you haven't been there yet, have you?
No, I'm kind of boycotting it.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I think what we should do is we should all try and go next time you're around. If you're around and they're home, because we can get tickets for like $12.
I mean, your son went to opening night, and I think he said the energy level wasn't
there was
the
nothing.
same.
There was no energy in the building at all.
You know, I mean, one of the things about going to Islander games in the past, not that we ever did this that much, but, you know, I remember when they made the playoffs, they were showing them, you know, the amount of tailgating that took place.
Yes.
You know, and nobody could drive and park at this place. So,
No, there's no parking at all.
Yeah.
Right, you can't hear the cars taking off at the end of the game.
Yeah, no, there's none of that. There's none of that. And, you know, just talking about the Long Island Railroad, you know, the Long Island Railroad says, oh, we're adding extra trains. The only extra trains they're adding are from Flatbush Avenue to Jamaica.
Yeah.
So your regular line trains to get home, they're still the same thing. So give you a perfect example. The Babylon line, which is a south line on the Long Island Railroad, is one of the more popular lines, right? But the the westbound trains at that time is 5:10, leaves at 5:10, leaves at 6:10. They're hourly.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't make the 6:10, and it's almost an hour because it's 45 minutes to get to Jamaica, and then it's another 20 minutes from there to get to Flatbush Avenue.
Hey,
So,
I don't want to be the one to break it to you, but it's going to be the Quebec Islanders before you know it.
I'm telling you, you know what? I almost wish they had done that and not done this after what I've seen, because all I'm hearing about is it's a really nice building, but the building stinks.
Yeah.
They said it's just not a hockey building. It never was a hockey building.
The scoreboard's over the blue line.
Yeah. Well, that's because they have.
I think they're trying to attract new fans. I think that's what they're trying to do, you know?
And you know what? That's not going to happen.
Right.
Because the new fans would already be
their
there.
old fans is what's going to happen.
They already started with the black jerseys. That's going to be their third jersey. And did you see when they had the Mets there? They had the Mets there. They gave the Mets the black jersey.
Yeah.
That was the jersey that they gave them.
Yeah.
And you know what? The other thing is that the arena, most arenas, most modern arenas, when they're configured for basketball, the seats behind the baskets are not permanent seats. That's why they're able to put the rink out. Okay, but in this place, the one half is all permanent seats. The other half is not permanent seats. They're the regular folding seats because that's the side where they put the stage when they have a concert. So the side with the permanent seats, that's why the arena is like this.
Yeah.
It's just over, and it goes against the wall. There's nothing behind the. There's nothing behind the. There's nothing behind the net.
Yeah.
And my
We got to
son
get
said-
there, but I mean, when I saw the pictures, as you said, the one thing that struck me was basically there were no seats basically behind the
net.
goal
There's no
at the
seats.
one end, you know?
He says they walked around, and
Yeah.
he says one of the things is the seats behind the goal that are in like the upper level. You're looking directly down on the goalie. He said it was a very weird view.
Like the Pepsi porch.
Like the Pepsi porch, yeah. You're almost looking directly down because if you think about it, if you're behind the net in an NHL arena, you're way up.
Yeah.
This isn't, because there's the wall. So you're overhanging, you're almost overhanging the thing. But what are you going to do? You know what, though? The Rangers are playing well.
Yeah.
The
I do
Islanders
like the
really are.
Torgerson story, you know?
This is the last year or next year for the Rangers. Their window is going to be closed, and they have to do something in the next 2 years. You can't get there, 3-4 times and not come home with the big trophy. It doesn't work that way. So they have to do something. I think this is the year they have to do something. If not, they're almost back to the drawing board.
So what's your prognosis? Are they going to do it?
They could, but
Oh,
the
they
teams out
could,
west
okay.
are so good. The teams out west are so good.
They
the
are.
Kings are back. The Kings reloaded. They're coming at you big time this year. Chicago. It's just there's so many.
Speaking of Chicago, how about our friend Mr. Kane there, huh?
Ooh.
So hey, I got to go in here and teach some 5-year-olds how to play hockey.
All right, well,
Okay,
I'm
Pete.
sure you'll do a good job at it, Pete.
You
All right,
usually
guys.
do.
Good luck, and I'll keep you posted.
Let's go Mets.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Pete, thanks. That's our good buddy, Pete Torgerson.
It's almost like Pete heard that we had like 2 minutes to go, about 2 minutes ago, you know? He's perfect.
So, Pete we didn't have to rush him off the phone
Yeah,
that time.
that's great.
So what do we do for 2 minutes?
Let's take another break. Okay. Let's take another break here on Glory Days. When we get back, we'll have some stories that you may or may not have heard about our Did You Hear About segment. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris West Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco here on the InRavio TV network. If you are a sports fan, and why would you be watching this program if you weren't, you know that you can get all the scores and highlights instantly from other sources on the internet, like ESPN.
But if they're Bruce and Disco fans, they'd be watching the
If you're
show.
Bruce and Disco fans and you're watching the show. I doubt that. Here on the Glory Day Show, we pride ourselves on trying to find the types of stories that would interest you, our twisted, sophisticated audience. The bizarre, the maudlin, the humorous, and of course, the ridiculous. We call this segment, Did You Hear About It? And where would we be on this program without Len Dykstra? It seems every time we say we are never going to do another Len Dykstra story, he's back in the news. First, he went to jail for tax evasion and other things involving missing money or stolen goods, right? Then a month ago, he was in the news because Charlie Sheen's porn star girlfriend accused him of taking possession of her jewelry to help her sell it on eBay, only to return it to her with fake diamonds in place of her real diamonds. Now, why would she be surprised at that? That'd be like complaining that Roseanne Barr was disrespectful of the national anthem when the San Diego Padres asked her to sing it before a game. I mean, what were you expecting, Pavarotti? Right? Anyway, now it seems that Dykstra paid over $500,000 to private investigators to dig up dirt on Major League Baseball. And the source of that revelation? Why, it's Len Dykstra himself.
Of course. The nefarious
The
Len Dykstra.
nefarious Len Dykstra.
While speaking with Fox Sports broadcaster Colin Hurd on his program called The Herd, Dykstra revealed that he used the information to receive favorable calls at the plate while he was batting. Their blood's just as red as ours, Dykstra said. Some of them like women, some of them like men, some of them gamble, some of them do whatever. Seems that Dykstra was about to sign a 4-year contract extension with the Philadelphia Phillies in 1993, which at the time would have made him the highest paid leadoff hitter in the game. Another quote.
Another quote.
It wasn't a coincidence, you think, that I led the league in walks the next year, was it? Dykstra walked a career high 129 times in 1993. Major League Baseball told the Daily News they will look into Dykstra's claims.
Good old Major League Baseball.
All right. Former teammates Wally Bachman played with Dykstra when he was on the Mets and the Phillies in 92 and 93 and said, I don't know anything about that. I've got no comment on it. Keith Hernandez said, fear does a lot to a man. I had to do what I had to do and win and support my family.
I was wondering about that quote.
Yeah. That's.
What did Keith Hernandez have to do?
We should ask him.
I mean, I know that he's Keith Hernandez. But still, what would Hernandez have had to do to keep his family, to support
It has
his
me
family?
intrigued. It really
Well, you
does.
know what? If you think about it, you're Len Dykstra, right? Okay? if you really did have dirt on the umpires, that's going to definitely help you. You know what I mean? Especially if like the umpire turns out to be like a bone smuggler or something. And you just don't know what to expect. If you've got somebody on something, I think you're going to get those calls. Because, very simple, Len Dykstra is crazy.
Well, he is.
And everybody knows that Len Dykstra's crazy, so you know that if he knows, he'll say something. Right? I mean, you know what? And what does it matter to you if you go, ball four?
Yeah.
Right? How is that hurting
Well, they
you?
weren't helping to hit home runs, obviously.
No.
So it was
but,
all down to walks.
But you know what? They did what they can.
And I bet you he negotiated a deal saying if I walk 125 times in a year, I get a $2 million bonus.
Right?
Or
And
something,
that pays for his $500,000 that he spent.
That's right.
All right, story number 2.
Our favorite murdering paraplegic athlete, Oscar Pistorius, was released from a South African prison this week and placed under house arrest. Pistorius has been incarcerated since October 2015,
14.
when he was sentenced. Okay, he was sentenced for a culpable homicide in the killing of his girlfriend, Reva Steinkamp, who he claims he mistook for an intruder.
Yeah.
Reva was screaming at him and cowering inside the bathroom stall at his apartment in South Africa when he shot her 5 times with a shotgun. The judge that eventually found him negligent in Steinkamp's death said that he did not believe Pistorius committed murder and he felt that he did not intend to kill her.
What did he intend to do?
Scare her, I guess. I don't know.
You know, if you're going to scare somebody, you throw a pitch over their head.
I guess so.
Just saying.
All right, just saying is right. The South African Parole Board approved his placement under house arrest and correctional supervision for the next 4 years. South African Correctional Services allows convicted criminals who have served at least 1/6 of their sentence to serve the remainder of that sentence under house arrest. Of course, with detachable and removable legs, he had no leg stand on there. But I guess an ankle monitor was out of the question, unless they tether his body to the living room like a Cocker Spaniel.
You know, Pistorius will not be electronically tagged, but according to South African authorities, his movements will be monitored. Is that like a little stumpy thing? Although they did not provide details of how they were going to enforce the house arrest, they did reveal the things that Pistorius will not be allowed to do.
I'm sure this is an extensive list.
Okay? He will have no access to firearms.
How about fire legs?
He will not be allowed to take drugs or alcohol, and he can be randomly tested. All right? He must continue with psychotherapy sessions, and there will be no going out at night anymore.
No going out at night.
So I guess he can't be out on the dance floor. He can continue to work, but his lawyers are fighting to have track and field training included as part of his work. So I guess, you know, if they're going to allow him to go out and run. I don't know. Tanya Cohen, the lawyer for Steenkamp's parents, said the family saw this release coming. Nothing has changed for June and Barry. Nothing will bring Reva back, Cohen said. They are not surprised at all by this announcement. They expected this. Prosecutors are still appealing the verdict, believing that Pistorius should have been convicted of murder and not just negligence. The appeal is set to take place next month. Until then, Pistorius is free to walk around on his nubs in his apartment at night, drinking only apple juice, and he's allowed to beat up any intruder with his prosthetic legs as long as he doesn't shoot them. So that's not a bad list of things he's allowed to do.
Yeah. He is our favorite paraplegic murderer, as you said.
He is, you know, there's nothing like being a paraplegic murderer. I just think it would be kind of fun. Maybe what they could do is like put the monitor around his neck like a dog collar. You know, and every time he goes out the house, it would shock him. I think that would be a deterrent, you know. All right.
South Africa, though. So we go from South Africa to
The Bronx.
That's right. A few months ago, we reported a story about a husky Yankee fan who was caught on TVs sleeping in his very expensive seats at the stadium right behind the Yankee dugout. The game between the Yankees and the Red Sox back in July of 2014 was nationally televised on ESPN, and the announcers made a few comments while the snoozing fan was shown on camera. noting that he was able to stay asleep through all the ruckus caused when Carlos Beltran hit a 3-run homer. The beefy fan, Andrew Recker, claimed he had no idea what was going on when people in the fan started applauding after he woke up, and soon his cell phone was ringing off the hook. Friends and colleagues informed the Butterball that he had been on TV asleep in his seats. The rotund Recker didn't get the footage himself until the next day on ESPN.
Who wrote this?
I don't know. I think they called him corpulent the last time.
Yeah, maybe it's still in here.
It got worse because Major League Baseball posted the footage of the Chunky on their YouTube channel, making the 31-year-old used car salesman a YouTube sensation. Before the end of the week, the flabby Recker was sitting down with Matt Lauer on a Today Show in a reinforced chair. Put yourself in my shoes, Recker told Matt Lauer. How would you feel if you were broadcast on TV and all over the media?
Isn't that what happens to Matt Lauer every day?
Yeah, I don't think he's got a problem with that. So he did what any American would do in a situation. He hired a lawyer and sued everyone in sight.
You know, we need a bell for every time we come up with a different way to describe Recker. The plumpish Recker and his lawyer, Valentine Okara, filed a $10 million defamation suit against ESPN, their announcers, Major League Baseball, and the Yankees. Porky's suit alleged that ESPN went on an unending verbal crusade, using words like stupor, fatty, and stupid to describe him, along with other vituperative utterances.
Bing.
That's a $5 word. Many people, including your friends here at Glory Days, felt the lawsuit was ridiculous and a waste of time. Now Bronx Supreme Court Justice Julia Rodriguez set the record straight and tossed the suit where it belongs.
Did you set the record straight or the Recker straight?
He said both Recker and Reckers.
Okay.
Justice Rodriguez noting that the full-figured Recker was on camera only 31 seconds, and that announcers Dan Shulman and John Kruk did marvel at his home run slumber and did make a passing comparison to the sleeping fan's girth and that of the hefty Kruk. I think we corrected that last time. But the comment lasted barely longer than a minute and did not rise to the level of defamation, is what the judge said. None of the comments actually made by the announcers is defamatory, said Rodriguez. Notably, nothing said by either of them could be considered a false statement, which is a necessary element of a defamation action. The judge's ruling means that the corpulent Recker won't get a hoped-for cash settlement.
Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. So this little piggy is not going to market. I don't know, it's just so funny. I looked at the thing on YouTube,
yeah.
And really, they were just kind of marveling. They really were. They were just saying, how could this guy be asleep? They were saying, do you think that the guy next to him is going to wake him up? And then one of the guys said, maybe he doesn't want to wake him up. Maybe he's like really an annoying person to be sitting next to. He says, and that's why they let him sleep. But I don't know. I'm just happy. It's nice to see that one of these frivolous lawsuit things finally gets tossed out.
Yeah.
And doesn't even, it just seems to be that it's too easy to just sue people. We are a litigious society.
That is correct. I've said this many times, if you punch me in the nose.
You want me to?
I don't.
Okay.
And you break your hand, okay?
Yeah.
You can find a lawyer to sue me for breaking your hand. I mean, that's how ridiculous some of these lawsuits are.
And you know what I think it is? I think it's not the fact that that you can find a lawyer to do it. I think it's the fact that there's no, what do they call it? There's no backlash to doing it. There's no
repercussions.
Repercussions. That's the word I'm looking for. Now, if I was to sue you, for that, and I lost, if I had to pay your lawyer fee, I don't think I'd bring that suit.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we just don't do that. I'll tell you why we just don't do that. Because lawmakers make the laws. Lawmakers are lawyers. And if lawyers don't get money from clients for doing ridiculous things like this, Right? What do they call 1,000 lawyers at the bottom of the sea?
Good start.
A good start. That's exactly
Well,
right.
Of course, we have now excluded the law industry from advertising on our show ever. Not such a smart move there, Disco. And we may be getting sued after the show today.
Bloomberg and Rothenstein are pulling their advertising off of InRavio.
Oh my God.
We are almost out of time here at the Gloria Day Show. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. You watch the Gloria Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the InRavio TV network. We're coming right back. You should come back too.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Gloria Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. So what did we learn today?
Well, I guess the first thing that I will say is that somehow you knew that the Mets were going to come roaring back last night.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay. Have you been to the future?
Listen, you know, this was the Back to the Future year.
That's right.
You
So
know.
I'm wondering,
What
do you predict tonight?
1.1 gigawatts? Okay, here's what I predict for tonight. Pain.
pain.
I predict that we get another really good performance out of Steven Matz. I think it'll be a closer game tonight, but the Mets are winning this game tonight. They win this game tonight, and we'll take our chances with Matt Harvey in Game 5. That's what I think. What do you think?
I'm all in, man. I think the Mets are going to win.
Let's find out.
Okay.
What, Sammy
Hopefully
Stone?
he'll answer us.
You think he can answer us this time? Uh-oh. You think his batteries are dead?
Think he malfunctioned there?
All right.
Sammy Stone,
That's right.
tell me the future.
Sure. Ask away.
Are the Mets going to win the World Series?
Yeah, definitely.
Whoa!
It's the life.
Look at that. Not only did we get him to answer, but
That
he
was
said
totally unscripted.
And now I want to tell you that normally we just go against everything
That's
that
exactly
Sammy
right,
Stone
but
says.
this time,
But you heard it.
we will make an
From
exception.
Sammy Stones. We
All
are
right.
taking that to the bank.
So what did you learn today?
I learned that Len Dykstra's insane. Well, we always thought he was
learned that?
crazy.
I mean, you didn't know that before?
Well, I always thought he was crazy. But, you know, I mean, he obviously took steroids to help his performance, okay? That last story a month ago about the girlfriend, that wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
That was her fault. Why would you trust him to do something like that?
He's a criminal, is what he
So,
is, man. You know,
he is. He's a criminal. But,
he's a
but
career criminal. This guy.
you know what? Maybe he's Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. He's
know-
Lex Hammerhead, is what he is, man. You know?
But you know, you think about it, no one has ever talked about getting dirt on umpires.
No.
He's Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is the world's greatest criminal mind.
He's the Tom Brady of
He's
baseball.
the Tom Brady of baseball. I also learned that if you work very hard and you study, you could come up with 13 different ways of saying fat.
And we added that 14th corpulent there, which
And corpulent 14, there you go. Oh, and by the way,
yes.
don't go to the bathroom in Oscar Pistorius' house. I would say hold it in until you leave.
That would be a mistake. I also thought it was, I think Pete probably nailed it right on the head saying the Islanders are playing 82 road games this
Yeah,
year.
which is, you know what?
Which is
it's
gonna
going
take
to
its
be
toll.
tough. And like he said, what do you call it? Fatigue. And you know what? You think about it. You have to do that every game. You got to leave your house, and then you're not going back home. I'm assuming that when they were playing at home, they had a home game. They just drove to the thing, had their morning skate, went home, relaxed, took a nap, had
These
dinner,
guys
and
need
then
to
came back.
relocate to Brooklyn, I guess, is what they need to do.
Oh, it is a hippie, a hipster place now.
Yeah. I was reading something, I thought it was in the paper yesterday, saying that Brooklyn has the highest amount of foreclosures.
Really?
I think in the state, and it's really bucking a trend, like where foreclosures are going down, they are going up. Yeah. So it might be a good time to get in to buy some property in Brooklyn.
So now today is Halloween.
Yeah.
And what are you, when you go home, what are you getting dressed as?
The Wolfman. How about you?
I'm going to go dressed as a Met fan. As
A
soon as
Met
I get
fan,
home,
okay.
I'm putting on, I had 7 layers yesterday.
Okay.
You know, I had.
It wasn't quite as cold as it was against that, as opposed to the Chicago series,
Yeah,
right?
tell my feet that.
Yeah, okay.
It was cold there.
Yeah.
It was cold. You know what happened? It got cold later.
Let me tell you something, my friend, okay? You didn't go to the game that I went to at Yankee Stadium, Islanders Rangers, okay, or it's like 5 degrees below zero without
I
the
can't
wind
even
chill.
imagine that. I can't even imagine
Talk
that.
about a cold feet.
Yeah. Well, you know, I went to like Sports Authority because I was going to get like long johns and stuff. Anybody been to Sports Authority lately?
No.
You been there? You know how expensive that stuff is? First of all, they only have like that Lycra stuff, that Nike, you know, stuff. It's $50 for a pair of long johns.
Well, I do remember, you know, I don't normally have that stuff because,
No.
you know, you're not
I'm not
prepared.
going hunting anymore.
Exactly right.
I'm not doing that.
And I remember when I was looking for this stuff, because that Islander game was in January, I guess, right
Yeah.
before the Super Bowl. And it was out of stock.
I wound up going to Walmart. $8.
Right, there you go.
It was wonderful.
Okay. Well, we want Walmart to advertise on the
Walmart,
show.
you could advertise on the show. Wouldn't that be
We'll
good?
throw-
We can
we'll
get
throw
Walmart
lawyers
as an
under the
advertiser.
window, out the window. And,
We love Walmart.
all right.
Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work making us look so good out here. And thanks to our guest today, the lovely and talented Pete Torgerson, who apparently is a closet Met fan.
Good to hear.
Good to hear. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week. And of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days page, the Glory Days On Demand page on www.inravio.com to watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows that are on the Inravio TV network.
TV network. It's a really big shoe.
It's a really big shoot. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. And by next week, we will have a new world champion. Let's hope it's our boys from Flushing, the Mets.
Let's
Go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets!
inravio.com.